Guys, you can hit us up on our website. Yes. And that should... We'll throw in the links to our Twitter and Facebook later on. So, SCAac Kuna versus Kelly. It's going to be a PvT. Again, Kelly's one of the newer recruits for Team Extraterrestrial, so I have not seen him play Protoss versus Terran. But his Protoss versus Zerg actually worked out. Again, I feel like that was situational, but it was an interesting take on the Immortal Century one. But anyway. Tired man. In the bottom left-hand corner of the map, Belshear Vestige, we have from Team Extraterrestrials, the red Protoss, Kelly.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have our blue Terran player playing for SCA, Kuna.
We're getting down on those introductions. Have you started doing the like the zoom in with the swivel that they do in the GSL?
I don't do the swivel now.
Right.
I zoom in though.
Okay.
Dude, swivel's over the top.
But
I'm not for that flashy shit.
No, we can do it, man. I promise you. That's what's gonna send those DreamHack guys over there.
Oh yeah, the swivel.
They use the swivel. Guys,
yeah, the swivel does, you know,
you
swoon. Make the swivel normally does it for the ladies.
Yeah, exactly. So TVP on this map. I know this is not a matchup that you play very often, Fields, but I've been actually doing the Phoenix Colossus play in PvT, the minigun gym style, and it is so much fun. Like, it has brought back a love of this game into my heart.
Dude, this probe's just going for it.
Yeah, yeah. The probe is actually going cross-map first.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Which I would suggest almost means Kelly is having a build essentially tailored to which spawn Kuna is in, which in my mind suggests Stargate. But I'm just throwing out the prediction there.
Question is, where does he go next now that he realized that Kuna did not spawn top right?
If he goes
it
top
looks like
left,
he's gonna go top left, yeah.
Okay, he is going top left.
So he gets lucky with that one. CC
He
first.
does. CC first. Oh man. And now I've seen recently, well, Terrans rarely go CC first with Protoss anymore, because Protoss just Zealot, Stalker, Mothership Core, win. That actually is just how you do it. You just go Zealot, Stalker, Mothership Core, and you just walk up into the middle line and they won't have enough production. But we'll see if Kelly decides to try for that route or if he adjusts his build at all. He did throw down the Cyber Core even after seeing the command center first.
So can I ask you a question, Pat?
Yeah.
Is it like, is there a Protoss manual and it's like, page 1, harass worker with probe?
No, that's the Huck manual.
Okay,
It's only
because
players who think they're Huck.
it is the most obnoxious thing on the planet. I can only imagine how obnoxious it is for Terran, because their worker actually has to be there while the building's constructing, so...
We're actually seeing an engineering bay come down by Kuna right after racks, so this is actually super unsafe. Normally you go for 2 racks, but this is just 1 racks and a gas.
Yeah, but the probe hasn't scouted it.
And did the probe...
So Kelly's response to seeing the CC first
right.
was to throw down the Nexus of his own. Currently researching Warp Gate.
Yep. Nexus goes down. He is going just for standard
Oh, and
cost
Kuna's
play.
actually scouting the wrong way, so it's going to be a while before he knows where Kelly is.
Kelly's still poking in, still going to be annoying, sees the Marine, and it's like, nope, time to leave. Alright, I've overstayed my welcome. And a really quick +1 from Kuna. Huh. So this means he's probably going to get aggressive with his first batch of Marines. Like, really aggressive. Because he's going for a... Like,
Does that actually work, though? Because, I mean, Photon Overcharge.
I mean, by rights, it shouldn't. I've been caught off guard several times, but it shouldn't work. But I've seen it work in the past. Just a little pause there by the player. Probably had a bug or a spider on his leg or something like that.
That shit's terrifying. That would take longer than those 3 seconds.
Yeah. There was one game where this guy actually like pulled a spider on my computer screen. I don't know, take as long as it was. Take as long as you want, buddy.
Did you see the dragon video?
Oh yeah, the dragon video, that's funny. So we have the 2 extra racks being thrown down, so yeah, so I'm thinking this is just going to be a Marine timing. where Kelly is going for the Rain style of play, where he's just like, I'm just going to be safe. I'm going to take a little bit of a macro loss because he went for CC first and I went for Cybercore before I even put down my Nexus. But he's just going to be like, I'm going to get my Robo, I'm going to make sure I don't die to anything silly, and we'll play a long macro game from there, which I like. A lot of players can learn something from Rain.
He throws down the Robo while he's still on one gate. Is that...
No, that's standard.
Okay.
And I'd expect two more gateways pretty soon.
Yeah, that's why, like, he's taking the extra gas and still doesn't have the gateways.
Unless he thinks he's first, in which he's just going to go for one gateway Colossus production, which is about the opposite of let's be as safe as possible. It's about let's cut all the corners.
Stim is starting for our Terran player.
Stim is starting.
1-0 is about to finish.
He has a second engineering bay, but he does not have an armory, so this second engineering bay is pretty worthless, actually. He starts armor immediately, so he is going to be able to go into 2-2, but I think the second engineering bay was a little bit quick. Just my opinion. I feel like he could have put that into one of the barracks or some other production, maybe throw down another command center, which he should do right now. He does have 400 minerals.
Alright, so there's the extra gateways. The forge is being constructed also.
Oh, it's a double forge. Still a little bit greedy, but he's not going for super quick Colossus, so I guess he's just going to stay alive with the Photon Overcharge and gateway units, which is not easy to do, I'll be honest with you, but if you can make it work, go for it. Meanwhile, looks like we're just going to have the straight-up 10-minute 1-1 timing that we see from every other Terran player. Particularly Wings of Liberty, this was just really famous. You'll just...
Terrans don't really mix it up that much. I mean, it's not really a race that you have to deviate too far from the standard.
Well, nowadays I've been getting these, like, quadruple Reaper openings and all sorts of just strange play. We do have a third CC on the way, and with the completion of this armory, I'd expect to see a quick 2-2. However, with this push-out, he's not going to have combat shields, unless he delays the push-out, which I guess he could. Normally I prefer to have combat shields. Though the Robo Bay is
He was actually
right
supply blocked, too.
Yeah, that's a bit unfortunate. He does have 2 supply depots building. The Robo Bay, though, has just started, and I feel like this is late. Normally, I like throwing down my Robo Bay at, like, the 8:30 mark, especially if I'm scouting, like, a huge push-out like this. But I guess Kelly thinks he can hold with just the units he has. He is adding a Twilight kind of in a vulnerable drop position. Might as well have, like, drop here, drop here. I feel bad. I'm bashing on Kelly. I really shouldn't.
He does have this pylon up here.
Yeah.
And I'd like to see him maybe warp in a couple of zealots and just run by.
Counterattack?
Yeah.
Counterattack.
Because I feel like he has enough here to hold this with the Photon Overcharge.
Overcharge goes down, and we'll see how the force fields are. Time warp goes down, and force fields.
Oh wow, the force fields are actually really good.
But here comes the medevac. They actually don't lift the units. Stim has been used, and this is actually going to pick up and probably go into the main, I would expect.
It's looking that way.
There is an observer at the front, so he's going to see us. However, there is nothing in the main.
And there's not enough energy for Photon Overcharge.
No, he used the he used it on a time warp, which actually didn't do that much in the grand scheme of things.
Right.
Slowed down like the back quarter of the army. Here comes 2 more medevacs, kind of just chilling on the high ground over here. And yeah, here comes the boost in. Deciding where to drop, Alright, we'll see how fast the pilot reacts to this. Pretty decently. I still feel like this pilot council is a little bit of mistakes, a little bit...
Oh, if he picks off that medevac, he does. And here comes the zealot warp in. There are 2 medevacs here that they will see this coming. And there is plenty enough back at home to clean this up.
This is actually just to deny the third. Yep, see, he sees no third, so he actually just backs right on up. And he'll probably send those in at a little bit later time.
As he should, because this CC is floating its way over there.
Yeah. Next time he sees that there's a big push-out coming, he will. Of course, we do have 1 Colossus on the field with another one on the way. Charge Lot, Thermal Lance, all that great stuff. 2-2 or... Yeah, 2-2 is on the way for both players, actually. Though Kuna's upgrades are a little bit farther ahead. Oh, wow, this is actually funny. It's like the armies meet in the middle. The Zealots coming in from the top. Now, those Zealots did get picked up, and they did not do as much damage as they possibly could have. Oh, is he going to get the medevac? Nope.
Vikings are being produced. One at a time, though, right now from this reactor starport.
And we already have a Ghost Academy on the way, and he is reaching Mobius reactor, so he is gonna have EMP. Twilight Templar Archives does get started with the third for Kelly at about 13-minute mark.
That's late, isn't it?
That is quite a bit late, actually. I mean, I guess, yeah, it was at the 13-minute mark. That's about a minute late, in my opinion. Sometimes when you're under so much pressure, though, you feel like you really can't. And I think he delayed his Colossus a little bit too much, and that led to this predicament one right now. Now, he does not have Blink. He has Charge. So it'll be interesting to see how he can kite the Vikings.
Templar Archives is being constructed, so...
Yeah, but the ghosts are already able to be constructed, and there go 4 ghosts right away.
Drop coming out.
Really low probe count from Kelly. He's only on 53 harvesters. I feel like that's really low.
Yeah, he had a lot of chrono boost on his Nexus the last time I checked. It has gone down now.
Yeah.
But
the one nice thing is Kelly's upgrades he should start 3-3 as soon as this 2-2 is done. I would hope. Because that's really going to be a saving grace in this game if he starts at 3-3 immediately and actually starts 3 attack and shields. Meanwhile, the drop is...
Yeah, that drop's going to get cleaned up.
I really thought that drop was going to be able to get out of there, but I guess not. And...
He actually just leaves the medevac there for those stalkers, like waiting for them to warp in.
Kelly's only lost 3 workers to this harassment, so I feel like Kelly's slowly evening up the gap that was there just by his little bit of odd build choice at the start of the game.
There's another warp in here at this top right pylon.
And this is not a...
That supply depot placement's actually really cool.
Yeah, he's gonna see it.
Beneath the third.
I would actually prefer to be a wall of supply depots up at the top, just so that when the Zealots come in, they find a little bit of... they need to hack through the supply depots before they can get into the mineral line, and the Marines and Marauders can get in position to defend. I mean, it's great that the supply depot is gonna, like, hey, look, they're Zealots. But, to be fair, we're gonna see how many see how many SCVs he gets. But I feel like if there was an SCV wall, like an actual wall with supply depots, he actually wouldn't have lost any SCVs here. And he lost about 5 from that.
Yeah, and he is constructing a bunker behind the mineral line now.
Now, Templar are on the way, and we are seeing a 4th being put down from Kelly. Meanwhile, no 3rd armor. This is really weird for me, just because the reason why most Protoss go armor instead of shields against Terran, like they just go armor first, is because you generally have more health on your units than on your than you have shields. Like if you look at Colossus, they're 150, 150, 200, 200. So that the armor upgrade actually reduces the damage at a faster rate than shields does. But people say shields regenerate and all that, and some people go for shields if you're doing the Phoenix Colossus style simply because it affects your Phoenix as well.
Right.
So it's a little bit of an interesting choice, just in my opinion. Kelly does he have an observer with his army? Because Cloak is almost done.
Now Kuna's 4th is a lot earlier than, or Kelly's 4th is a lot earlier than Kuna's, although Kuna's is completed, but...
Kuna's is completed.
And flying there now.
And it'll be landed, and I expect this to get turned into a planetary fortress, and there it goes. Meanwhile, we have a full Marauder drop that is, never mind, not going to be a full Marauder drop, because suddenly there comes an attack, and actually, if these 2 Templar storm the Vikings, or the army, beautiful storms go down, and look at all those Red Marines.
Yeah, there's a lot of energy on those medevacs, though.
That is true.
But that's energy that won't be there for the next engagement.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I feel like that Stormbait was a little bit... I think he did have ghosts in that army. He actually could have sniped or EMP'd both those.
I think he was focused on the...
Zealots.
Yeah, on the Zealots in his mineral line.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I feel like that was a little bit sloppy. Meanwhile, we still have this little flanking force up top, and when the army does move out to engage, I'm